it remains the most common question that I get asked as a coach, as an online trainer, and it also seems to be the most common topic that everybody and their grandma has an opinion about. Well, in today's video, I'm taking the opinions away because I'm bringing the proven step-by-step guide, the step-by-step process by which you should diet to lose fat. Let's go. What is good, YouTube? It's your boy, John Mango, and I'm here representing Beyond the Iron, where I'm looking to take your fitness and your nutrition further so you may change your life forever. Now, if you are new to the channel, I just want to say welcome. Thanks for stopping by, and go ahead and check out the other content on my channel. I bring you weekly fitness content covering nutrition, like meal plans, tips, strategies, step-by-step process videos to get somewhere just like this one. Also workout tips, strategies, all that stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, then consider subscribing. All right, that being said, it is now time to dive in because I don't want to waste any time with this one, okay? I'm sick and tired of people being misled in this industry and just told, like, for example, you can go ahead, go on Google and type in how to lose weight. Go on Google, type in how to lose weight, and I swear to you, the first 10 things don't actually tell you how to lose weight. They give you tips: eat more protein, drink more water. No. This all comes down to fundamental principles that are simply just being skidded over, or people just miss completely, and they don't understand that this is the key. If you understand this and the step-by-step process that I give you, you will guarantee fat loss. Now, you'll notice I said fat. Even though the title says weight, we are looking to lose weight here, however, and I hope that you are trying to make that weight mostly fat and not lean mass. Well, if that's the case, then I encourage you to stick around until the end of the video. I'm gonna give you a two-step process. In other words, an extra 2 bonus steps that on top of this formula that I give you, those extra 2 steps will ensure that the weight you're losing is mostly fat and even potentially help you build muscle while you lose that fat, okay? So stick around for that. Let's go ahead and talk about this formula. Starting off, step number 1. The first step, and this is simply none of these steps are negotiable. They can't be argued. These are based off the law of thermodynamics. And if you heard this before, you know what you're in for, but stick around because trust me, if you follow these steps, you're guaranteed success. Now, first up, you gotta find out your maintenance calories, okay? So we're talking about how many calories your body needs to maintain its body weight. How do you do this? Well, if you want a very in-depth explanation, you can click this video right here, but I'll go ahead and briefly explain. You want to track calories that are consumed through your diet. You also want to track your body weight, okay? So your body weight should be measured first thing in the morning. You're going to do this every day for 7 to 14 days. All along, you're going to take averages per week of your body weight and of the total calories you've consumed. Eventually, you're going to come up with a number. If your weight keeps increasing, then you know that those calories have put you in a surplus and you need to readjust until you find that maintenance point. This could even take up to a month at times, but hey, this is the most accurate way and it is necessary. Again, any more details you want on that, click this video right here and check that one out after this. So once you found your maintenance calories, by the way, it is not necessary, it's not necessary to track your calories and track your body weight. And of course, there's plenty of controversy. Oh, tracking your calories is no way to live life. Oh, don't ever use the scale, it doesn't tell the whole story. Although this may be true in terms of the scale, tracking calories is the best, fastest, and the only guaranteed way for you to actually know how many calories you need and to guarantee that you're eating whatever amount it is that you need to eat, whether it's for a deficit or a surplus. Now, when it comes to measuring your body weight, again, no, it's not necessary. You can go off pictures in the mirror. However, when you see a change in your body every single day, I can bet you that you probably can't, okay? And because of that, the scale to measure your body weight is a great tool, but it is simply that and no more. It is a tool. The second you start getting attached to that number and trying to, see that number drop every single day, it's simply not realistic and it's gonna throw you off completely. All right, cool. So once you finally determine your maintenance calories, what's next? Step number 2 is you're gonna go into a calorie calorie deficit. Again, we're talking about fat and weight loss here, so that means that you have to eat less calories than you're burning. Now, you might be wondering, okay, well, how many calories do I drop it by? 1,000? All the calories? Well, hopefully you know that you don't want to just starve to death here. Instead, it's going to depend on how much weight you have to lose. So for example, if you have 100 pounds to lose, you can actually afford dropping the calories more than somebody who's only got 10 pounds to lose. The more fat you have in your body to lose, the less risk of you actually losing muscle as you start dropping body fat quickly. So if that's the case, what I always recommend is the more conservative way. Whether you're looking to lose 10 or 100 pounds, I would always go with something more along the lines of 50 to 150 calorie deficit max. Again, if you can lose more weight, it's also going to depend on a little gray area that determines, how hungry you get and what your chances are of sticking to your plan if the deficit is too much. So some people, they can get away with a 700 calorie deficit, but others might start binging at that point. So keep that in mind, and that is also again why I recommend starting more conservative. But the point here is, if you're in a 1 calorie deficit per day, or if you're in a 1,000 calorie deficit per day, the point is be in a deficit first, and then from there you got to determine which deficit is more sustainable for you in the long term. Okay, perfect. So determine maintenance calories. You're in a deficit now. Now what? Just because you did the numbers, it doesn't mean that the weight and the fat is going to magically fall off. Instead, the third step is now to track accurately. I know it doesn't seem like this should be a step. What do you mean track? Isn't that part? No. Listen, like I said, you did the math. That's not enough. Now you have to execute, but you have to execute with precision. We talk about numbers here. I'm a big numbers guy because numbers are facts. Okay, you can't argue with math. 1 + 1 = 2. There's no other way around it. Now, when we're looking at this, tracking accurately is so important that I had to make it a step, because again, people think, for example, I'll have coaching clients, I'll go ahead and send them their calories and macros, and they think, well, great, I have calories and macros, now if I eat somewhere around there, I should be fine. So again, this number is not magical in itself. You have to make sure you're tracking accurately, and that does include weighing your foods when you can, because at the end of the day, eyeballing foods never ever works out the way you think it will. Even for somebody like myself, who's been doing this whole thing, this tracking, this weighing, all that for years and years, even when I go to eyeball things, it still never turns out the way I want it to. So if that's the case for me, it will likely be the case for you. The more accurate you can be, the better. Now, if you take a handful and you just guess that portion and maybe roughly close to that, it doesn't matter. If it's not 100% or as close to 100% accurate as possible, things will start falling through the cracks. So step number 3, very important, make sure you're tracking accurately, diligently, consistently. Next up, step number 4 is you want to adjust accordingly. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, how do I adjust and what do I do from there? So I offer custom meal plans with a free week of coaching. The reason I do this is because people think it's good enough to just get the calories, get the numbers, get the meal plan, and you're good to go. But that is just not the case. You have to continuously adjust your calories, because if not, your body's going to catch up very quickly. It's going to adapt and you're going to hit these plateaus. So what you need to do to adjust is simply keep dropping calories. Now, again, don't do this too quickly. What I would recommend is all steps 2 and 3, tracking accurately until you hit a rough plateau for maybe about a week. Now you're back at maintenance. You're going to cut it down another 50 to 100 calories, and that's one way to adjust. You keep doing that, eventually you're going to keep losing the weight. Now, if you've stalled and you find that you're constantly hungry and that your performance is terrible and your energy is terrible, in that case, your adjustment will be better off being up by 50 to 100 calories, because what this does is causes a rebound in your metabolism, which will increase energy. More energy output equals more calories burned, so it's going to allow you to continue on that fat loss trend. All right, and from there, you just got to monitor your calories as you go, monitor your weight. So you want to consistently be doing essentially steps 1 to 3, and then adjust accordingly as you go. All right, and that's it. Those are the 4 steps that you need to know, the most important steps, and the steps that will guarantee that you're losing weight. Now that you've stuck until the end, hopefully you're still here, here, we're gonna cover the 2 bonus steps that are gonna ensure that what weight you're losing is mostly fat. Because again, if you're just losing weight, that could include lean mass, muscle, and in which case, when you drop 10 pounds, you may not actually look like you dropped 10 pounds, you may not feel much better, you may not be performing much better, and for that reason, I've included these 2 extra steps. So let's go ahead and talk about them. So before I talk about these 2 steps, I wanna quickly preface that the rate at which you lose weight is gonna be a big factor here. So the faster you lose weight, meaning if you're losing weight at 2 pounds or more per week, there's gonna be eventually a higher chance as you continue down that to start losing muscle. So the smaller the deficit and the more conservative of a rate of fat or weight loss that you're at is going to determine, your ability to make sure that is mostly fat. So bonus step number 1 to ensure that what you're losing is fat is protein needs to be high enough. So remember I said at the beginning that they'll tell you things when you Google how to lose weight that, well, protein needs to be high and all that. That is not the case, because calories in versus calories out is first and foremost, and that has to be continuous in order for you to keep dropping that weight or fat. But on top of the deficit, meaning making sure that you're still eating less calories than you're burning, you want to ensure that enough of those calories are protein. Now typically, and I've made videos on this, if you want more in-depth on protein recommendations, click on that video, but the basis here is that you're looking for 1 gram per pound of body weight when it comes to protein, or 40% of your calories coming from protein. Now the reason for this is because protein is extremely important for your body to actually hold on to muscle as you're losing that fat, and or build the muscle depending on how new you are in the gym. So protein is the most important macronutrient when it comes to losing fat and isolating it versus just losing weight overall. All right, the second bonus step and the last step in this video is to track, assuming that you are working out and lifting weights. If you're not, do that first. But assuming that you're doing that, the last step here, you need to track your workouts and your progress throughout those workouts. So in other words, and again, I've got another video covering this. You can click there for a more in-depth way as to how to actually track your workouts. So go ahead and check that out. But a brief summary is you want to make sure that you track the specific sets and the specific weight and reps of each workout. That way you know next time you go into the gym what targets you're aiming for, because without those targets there, and as you lose weight and fat, it's going to be easier for your body to want to just give up muscle and not push for certain numbers. So unless you have those targets set out for you, chances are you're not going to hit the amount of volume, the amount of weight that you need to hit to preserve muscle mass. So this is actually one of the biggest keys, and unfortunately it's also one of the biggest things that is overlooked and not done in the gym. Actually, it's one of the things that's done last after everything else is said and done, and it is one of the things that hold people from getting their physique that they desire. So that is bonus step number 2. So again, let's go over the steps real quick. Step 1, find out your maintenance calories. Step 2, you have to drop those calories. You can go conservative or more aggressive depending on how much weight you have to lose and how much patience or hunger tolerance you have. Step number 3 is going to be to track accurately, very accurately and very consistently. Extremely important, because if you don't, it's going to ruin steps 1 and 2. Step number 4 is to simply adjust as you go. As your body adapts to what you're doing to it, it's going to require that you adjust continuously to keep moving the needle further. Good. Now, that's how you lose the weight. Remember, bonus steps 1 and 2. 1 is get enough protein while you're performing those steps, and step number 2 is track your workouts and track your weights to make sure you're preserving performance. Actually, in this case, probably increasing performance, meaning preserving muscle and or building it while you lose pure body fat. So these are all of the mental and practical tools you need to guarantee that you lose fat. Again, this is no bullshit. This is no other way around this. This is what every other diet is based around. It is calorie deficit, and this just so happens to be the quickest way to achieve a calorie deficit, the most linear way to see the results you're looking for. So I really love to know what you thought. If you're still around at this point of the video, I just want to say I appreciate you a little bit extra. Please comment below and let me know your thoughts. I'd love to see what you think, and I'd love to have a conversation with you. Also comment and let me know what else you'd like me to cover on this channel, and I'll be sure to bring that to you ASAP. Don't forget forget to like if you enjoyed the video, or dislike, but give me some constructive criticism at least. Also share it with your friends and subscribe for more weekly fitness content like this. Again, I appreciate you for watching. Thanks so much for the support always. My name is John Mango and I'm representing Beyond the Iron, where I'm looking to take your fitness and your nutrition further so you may change your life forever and make those damn gains. Thanks again, everyone. I'm out.